foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Blue Nova Dream Cloud Digital, and I'm bringing you all a new tutorial on Post Malone's new song featuring 21 Savage called Rockstar. I'm gonna jump straight into it, gonna give you all the breakdown of what I did on the vocal effects, and here we go. We'll jump straight into it. I'm gonna turn everything off on the master, and I'm gonna mute the instrumental, and we'll go ahead and take off all the effects, and we'll mute this one too. I actually have this routed to this, that's why you see the link right here. So the first thing I have is, I'll go ahead and close this in. So the first thing I have is AT2020 VST. What I did, I put the key in G, the scale minor, put the retune speed to put it at 10. You can go ahead and freeze the screen for all these other settings. And I'll go ahead and play the raw quality of it.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel.
Oh, I forgot. All right, we'll try one more time. Here it goes.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So the next thing we have after that is the Fruity Parametric EQ2. And what I did, I went ahead and cut some of the low frequency out, raised a little bit of the upper mid frequency, and brought it up to 12 decibels in the high frequency. So you can go ahead and freeze the screen if you can get these values down, and I'll go ahead and play what it sounds like.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
The next thing we have is another parametric EQ2. I dipped out some more of the low end. I went ahead and brought up some of the frequencies in the mid and in the higher frequencies, and I dipped down around 6,324 hertz just to cut off some of that low end, but it still wasn't too much. So I'll go ahead and play how it sounds.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So now that you hear that, I know you can hear a lot of sibilance in it, so it really needs a de-esser. What I did, I added the de-esser stereo from Waves, put the audio split, frequency 5506, sidechain, selected on high pass, monitor, make sure to select audio, and I dropped the threshold down to -23, and this is what it sounds like.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
The next thing I have is Fruity Reverb 2, and what I had, I dropped the delay all the way down to 0, the bass all the way up, decay, put it at 3.8 seconds, high cut, put it all the way down to, 0.5 kilohertz. The size of the room, put it all the way up. I know Post Malone, he keeps a wide room. He makes like a lot of reverb in his songs. You can go ahead and pause the screen. Just know that it doesn't have to be the exact value, but you can pause the screen and get somewhat similar settings to what I had, and this is what it's gonna sound like.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So after having that, the last thing I have is a Fruity limiter, and you can go ahead and reset this. Put the release down all the way to 0. You can put the head to 9.77 milliseconds, and I dropped the ceiling down to -6 decibels, and this is what it's gonna sound like.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So now that we have that, I went ahead and just saved this preset. So you can just right click, go to File, save mixture track state as, and then just save it. And then I went ahead and loaded the same thing back in here. So File, open mixture track state, and just open it. And what I did differently in here, I added some Fruity delay. I put the delay right here. Make sure for whatever song, or if you're even doing a cover for this song specifically, make sure that you have the time snap. The tempo for it was 160, so I put the time all the way in the middle, so it's gonna replay back in the same, I guess not in the same speed, but it's gonna delay really on point on tempo. So this is what it's gonna sound like. Sorry, and actually before I get into this, the second harmony, so the harmony right here that I did is actually I sung it differently actually. So this is what it's gonna sound like. And with the reverb, I adjusted it. Just pause the screen and get these values.
I ain't at foes are popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So now that I have that, this is what it's gonna sound like together. And in order for you, what I did, I always link every vocal track together, so you can press Control and Alt and left click and hold it, and it's gonna select these two. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna right click and send it to, and just route to this track only. It's gonna send all those vocal tracks into one bus. So when you have that, when you have all these together, you're gonna wanna have the fruity limiter, and just make sure that the ceiling is down on -6 decibels. And I also added another delay on here just to give it some more bounce. And this is what it's gonna sound like.
I ain't in for hoes or popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
So now that you hear that, you can hear it has a lot of reverb and everything is really flat and compressed together to where it sounds all on one accord. So the last thing I have is having the instrumental. Really what I did, I just did some adjusting to the levels, and I put the bass, I brought the bass up 6 decibels, and I put the mono down, the mono separation, I put it down to 70%.
I ain't in for hoes or popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
For the mid, I dropped the mid down to -6 decibels. And then for the high, I brought the high up by 3 decibels. So after having that, you're gonna want to go to the master and go to isotope. I put isotope ozone 5 for the master, just for the limiter. And what's gonna compress and limit some of the high frequencies in it. So the threshold, I put it at 0 decibels, and the post equalizer, I put brick wall low pass, and just select brick wall right here. And I put the cut in at 15,275 hertz. And for Maximus, I didn't even do anything on Maximus. So all these values, except for the low, I brought up the band right here to 6 decibels, just to cut off some of the bass, some of the kick that was bleeding in.
I ain't in for hoes or popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a Rockstar.
So now that pretty much everything is just wrapped up, what I did with the low frequency, I just put, really just having this to, it really just kills off some of the low end frequency in the kick, and everything else is really just left alone. So as far as that, the tutorial is really just wrapped up. It wasn't really too complex of a mix to do. If you have any questions, just make sure to email me, bluenovabeats@gmail.com. If you need any beats and mixing and mastering, go to bluenovabeats.com, and make sure to subscribe, like, and share as much as possible. And thank you, and comment what you want to see next. Just make sure to comment. All right, thank you all for watching.
I ain't in for hoes or popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.